If an artist you love sold their CDs for $12.99 but signed one copy and listed it for $1,000, would you buy it? Probably not. But what if you had $2 million in the bank or $20 million in the bank? At least in my understanding, this is essentially what the market is like at the moment for NFTs. People with extra money want to support an artist that they love while also having an actual asset that they can resell down the line.
Just gone. My savings, my house, but I have this little green panda bear on a skateboard.
So if you're not familiar with NFTs at all, it's basically a way for someone to sell a digital asset with proof of ownership. Digital files can be copied unlimited times and will always be exactly the same. So this proof of ownership concept and the ability to sell that ownership is the big difference here, which is why I brought up the example of an artist signing a CD, because that's essentially the equivalent. Artists signing a singular thing that they're selling, not selling, one of the other 100,000 CDs that they're selling. It's unique, it's signed, it's authenticated by the creator. That's essentially what an NFT is. And there are a lot of hopes and dreams being talked about for how NFTs will change the music industry, and there have been plenty of cases where people make hundreds of thousands of dollars selling digital assets. There are a ton of companies creating very unique platforms and services that revolved around blockchains and NFTs in the music world. However, at least at this time, there's a lot about NFTs that, in my opinion, is just stupid. So let me explain.
I'm so confused. We sell people these characters?
No, stupid, we get them to invest in them. Exclusive digital characters that they can have on their phones 24/7.
So first, I just want to point out that I really want your feedback on this topic. This is all my opinion. It's just based on my current understanding of this whole world at this moment. So if I'm wrong about something, let me know in the comments below if there's a solution to the problems I'm about to list. Or maybe there's some cool new service that you think I should check out that I wouldn't have these problems. So one of the first obstacles you have to overcome is this whole wallet situation. So a lot of these NFT services, if you subscribe to them, when you're making your NFT or when you're purchasing your NFT, you have to have a crypto wallet that has the actual blockchain listed in it with the currency. So there's a ton of these blockchains and a bunch of different companies running NFT services and crypto wallets. They have different services that they link to, and people have to convert regular money into the digital currency to buy the NFTs, at least all the ones that I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong about that. This means that at this time, there's like this big barrier to entry that is going to exclude a vast majority of your fans, unless your audience happens to be inherently interested in NFTs. It's just too confusing, it's too complicated, and it's too niche at the time for the average person to set it up and care about it. Now, this will likely change over time, but right now that's the case. Now, the next obstacle is that there's fees associated with every transaction. Credit cards have fees too, and you have to pay taxes and do everything legally when you're buying stuff with real money. But depending on where you're listing your NFTs and what blockchain you're using, you may have to pay a substantial fee to be able to actually list your products. Perhaps I just need to do more research, but I played around with OpenSea, which seems to be the most popular NFT site around right now. And just to create my store and start listing products, it was over $200 in gas fees. And gas fees is essentially the amount of energy it takes to convert your cash, your cash and your store and your transactions into the blockchain. And I'm not super technical in that world, so I'm sure there's a fantastic reason for it. It seems to be supply and demand, so the more people who are doing transactions, the higher the gas cost. So that cost does fluctuate. But when I went to do it, it was literally over $200. So I was like, no, thank you. Now it sounds like there are solutions to this. Even on OpenSea, they had a second blockchain listed that had no fees, but then I watched all these videos about it and it was incredibly contradictory and confusing. And if you choose this blockchain, you couldn't do certain things with this other one. And OpenSea is the biggest platform at the moment, so this is definitely something to consider. So this might sound obvious, but to a lot of artists, it seems like it might not be obvious. You kind of need a die-hard audience to be able to make any money with NFTs. If you can't get people to buy your album, your merch, or join your Patreon, you're probably not going to be able to get them to actually buy your NFTs and make money with them. The whole idea behind NFTs is that you're creating scarcity on a certain digital item by turning an unlimited resource, which is digital files, into a finite resource. So scarcity is a great marketing tool to increase demand, but there has to be some kind of demand in the first place. If there's no demand, there's really no value. And the value of your NFT is 100% about the perceived value of your brand. And this also applies to cash products as well, but people understand the value of cash. Most people don't understand the value of an NFT. So this next thing might be somewhat controversial, but it seems like there's a ton of companies making different blockchains, making different websites, different ways to sell NFTs. And how many of these companies and entities are actually going to exist in 5 or 10 years? Like, these are all startups, this thing's very new. And I have absolutely no idea what happens if a company that you're selling your NFTs through goes under and closes their site. And I don't know if blockchains ever get like removed or destroyed, but at the end of the day, all data has to be stored somewhere, like on a server, and storing data costs money. So it's likely that means that NFTs are gone forever. And I might be wrong with this, so like definitely correct me if I'm wrong. But like if you sell a bunch of stuff in this marketplace for NFTs and it goes under, like I would assume unless they migrate everything to another company or their server, some way to keep it online, it's like all those transactions just poof, gone forever. So yeah, kind of a scary thought. I don't want to seem like I'm all negative on the idea of NFTs. If you can make money with it and the demand is there, let people give you money by all means. Like if you can make money from people that want to support you, do it. But from my perspective as a music fan myself, I haven't seen a single NFT product from any band that I would consider buying. Even if it's from my favorite band in the world, I'd much rather just buy a t-shirt or buy their album or join their Patreon. Like, and I'd be willing to bet that 99% at least music fans are like me too. Like, I mean, on one, there's just a comfortability factor. Like, I'm used to these kind of physical products, even digital products. I'll buy limited time access to their exclusive live concert. But to buy this, like, at least the NFTs I've seen, none of them have been like, oh, cool. I get that. Like, I've seen people get regular products and put them behind NFTs, but then it's just like, why can't I just buy this on your site? Why are you making me go through this platform and do this thing with this currency? Like, why can't I just go on your website and buy this? I don't want to like own this exclusive thing. I just want to buy a copy of it and look at it. That's the beauty of a digital product. So now that being said, I would never and have never purchased a cosmetic microtransaction in a video game because I think they're stupid. But obviously there's enough of a market for that where every game in the world offers them. Like if you look at Halo Infinite right now, it's a free-to-play game, the first free-to-play Halo multiplayer game ever. And I'm assuming they're making a killing. And every free-to-play game that's large and sells microtransactions, they make a lot of money. And that's why so many of them last so long and keep coming out. So if you know of any cool NFT or blockchain services out there tailored towards music creators, or if I'm wrong about any of this, please let me know. I'm definitely down to try out some platforms and do more research and make some videos sharing my experience. Now, if you want to see the story of how I've gotten over 2.5 million streams on Spotify and the history of my music marketing, check this video right here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
You lure your customers in with some good pancakes and french fries, and then you f*** them with some NFTs.